Joseph Boxhall's Wikipedia article in 2026. RMS Titanic. Like the ship's other junior officers, Boxhall reported to White Star's Liverpool offices at 9 o'clock in the morning on 26 March 1912 and travelled to board the ship at Belfast the following day. Before Titanic departed Southampton on 10th of April, Boxhall assisted with the ship's brief lifeboat test. Following that, he settled into his regular duties. These included scheduled watches, aiding in navigation, and assisting passengers and crew when necessary. On the evening of April 14th, Boxhall began his last watch at 8 p.m., set to last until midnight, and spent a great deal of time in the chart room, evaluating previous navigational data and stellar fixtures from Third Officer Herbert Pitman. He updated Titanic's position and reported the information to Captain Smith. He updated the ship's position once again at 10 p.m., incorrectly determining that any ice was to the north of the ship. When Titanic collided with an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, Officer Boxhall was on duty but was not on the bridge. At the two inquiries held into the sinking in 1912, he stated he was standing on the boat deck just outside the officers' quarters. However, in his 1962 BBC interview, he stated that he was in his cabin, having gone there to make tea. Hearing the lookout bell, he headed immediately to the bridge, arriving just after the impact. Captain Smith, who had also just arrived on the bridge, assessed the situation as best he could while the senior officers gathered in the bridge. Boxhall went off to inspect the damage, and on his way down he came across passengers on the forward well deck playing with ice. He went as far as aft deck and found no damage, but was later intercepted by the ship's carpenter, John Hutchinson, who informed him that the ship was taking water, which was later confirmed by a mail clerk to Boxhall and Captain Smith. On the return trips up, he also noticed light ice scattered across the forward well deck. Officer Boxhall sighted lights in the distance, possibly the masthead light of the cargo steamer SS Californian, and attempted in vain to signal by using the Morse lamp located atop Titanic's starboard bridge wing cap. Boxhall once again charted Titanic's position so that a distress signal could be sent out, incorrectly finding it as coordinates. He assisted in firing 8 distress rockets from the starboard bridge wing in an attempt to signal the distant ship. Thought that task also proved fruitless. After asked Captain Smith about Titanic's condition, he was told that she would sink in about an hour. Officer Boxhall was placed in charge of lifeboat number 2, which was lowered from the port side at 1:45 a.m. with 80 people aboard out of a possible 40. Despite being ordered to pull towards the starboard aft gangway doors, the lifeboat rowed away from the ship for fear of being pulled down by the suction.
Bloody pull faster and pull!
Boxhall did not actually see Titanic founder, as the lights had gone out and his lifeboat was about 3/4 nautical mile. It's approximately 1.5 kilometers distant. Boxhall spotted the RMS Carpathia on the horizon around 4 a.m. and guided her towards Titanic lifeboats with a green flare. As the lifeboat pulled alongside Carpathia, a passenger in the boat named Mrs. Douglas called out, "Titanic has gone down with everyone aboard!" Boxhall quickly replied with, "Shut up, lady!" Boxhall later apologized for his outburst, but both he and Brown agreed that it was acceptable given the circumstances they had just endured and their current conditions. After arriving in New York on April 28, Boxhall was examined by a doctor and was excused from testifying in the American inquiry into the sinking, but nonetheless he testified about a week later. He and his fellow surviving officers were allowed to leave New York on the Adriatic on 2nd of May. After returning to England, Boxhall bore witness again, this time at the British inquiry. Much of his testimony concerned details of the lifeboat lowerings and Titanic's navigation, including the many ice warnings. He was also the first person to testify that he saw another vessel in approximately while Titanic sank.